and making 12 overlords to deal with it. She is never going to be supply blocked again, but the charge lots are in her base, and she doesn't have any roaches because of that supply block. 8 roaches now being made, but Dark Templar being warped in. Heading down towards the expansions of the blind and the deaf, and in this case they really are blind. No detection at all available, no idea that these DTs are coming in, it looks like, and the DTs splitting off to each base. I mean, our players in the bottom right are just getting ravaged by this drop from Little Reaper. It took a while to get here, but when it did, man oh man did it go to work. SCVs falling left, right, and center for Chumley. Rex, it looks like, will be able to stabilize with her roaches, but Chumley loses almost every SCV in his main base. That's 24 SCVs lost and 14 perhaps down the line. He does have enough gas to do so, but, you know, it's hard in these situations. This is where the experience of time really helps one team or the other. If they're more used to being in weird scenarios like this, they're generally going to know what to do and keep their cool. Whereas a team that has not been in this situation as much is going to have a harder time navigating this complex scenario. However, Little Reaper is losing a lot of his stuff, but it doesn't matter. Freedom sweeps in. Disruptors are a little ambitious, but he might be able to pull it off. Oh, but here comes the Flood. I'm not sure if Freedom has enough to defend this time around. And indeed, he does not. At least not at his third base. He's going to have to sack the third base, but a lot of SCVs might go down. Looks like they will be able to run away, mostly to safety, but that means 3 tanks went down. There's only 6 left, which is a good amount, but that's a lot of Roach Ravager. 3 tanks now running in for Chumley. He saw the charge lots last game, and he said, hey, that was pretty cool. What if I make charge tanks? And, I mean, it seems to be working, so why not? They are pushing into the natural base, doing a lot of damage. Tanks are shown from the high ground, but there's not that many tanks left over here, and I think this may be all she wrote for LittleDom in this second game. That's a lot of Widow Mines being produced, but Widow Mines aren't the best against Roach Ravager. Freedom is running his SCVs, but he's losing a lot of them nonetheless. And a little scared to push up onto the high ground is the blind and the deaf, but I can't blame them. They have a hard time seeing up there, and they don't know what might be waiting for them. And right now it's just a tank and a few stalkers. But oh my gosh, this Widow Mine count is insane. Now, of course, you can outrange Widow Mines with Hydras, but I think they need the upgrade for it, and I'm not sure they've got that. They're fighting until their last breath, but I think they're about to draw it. There's really not much left here. Even if they do manage to shut down a bunch of the mining of the blind and the deaf, there's just so much army left for their opponents. And GG is called. Oh, though, I mean, honestly, the tanks are going to try and move up now. A tank for Chumley. Will it siege it? Oh, Little Reaper going to dive in. All right, some Ravagers coming up. I think they're going to go now. Okay, pulling back. It looks like Chumley's going to go for a counter drop maybe, or try and sneak in behind. And sneak in behind, indeed, is what he's trying to do. He's getting on top of the Warp Prism. Might be able to kill the Warp Prism, which would be very nice. That will get rid of the reinforcements for Little Reaper. And indeed, he does get rid of it. Very nice move out of Chumley. And Rex cleans up the ground forces. A big supply advantage for the blind. Loses quite a few extra units there. Oh, the Forgotten Prism is forgotten no longer, it would seem. They do manage to clean up that one DT, but the turret? Oh my gosh, he runs back into the turret range, and then 2 seconds later, the turret burns down. That's very unfortunate. However, not dealing with the Warp Prism means the DTs are just going to go right back to work and not going to do anything about them. Good harassment. Oh, a big fight happening on the front side of the map. Freedom's forces catching out a bunch of Rex's army while they're back home macroing or something along those lines, I have to imagine. Divide and conquering is definitely happening right here. And I think this fight is going to go very strongly for our team in the bottom right. This might be the impetus they need to really put themselves strongly into the lead. And indeed it is. I think they're just going to push across the map. Mutalisks coming out for Rex. It looks like LittleDom will be able to clean this up, I think. And very, very well played out of them. They definitely looked a little bit in danger at parts of this game, but managing to pull it back, and I think we'll be able to clean it up as they're pushing in. They got so many siege tanks out now. Some tanks on the high ground for Chumley, but it's not enough to defend. That one tank was so low, does fall, and the continued warp-ins in the main base. And yeah, I think that's going to be all she wrote for the blind leading of the deaf. A good first showing, but LittleDom definitely showing their strength here. They are continuing to push up into the base of the Zerg and Terran. Needless trying to deal with just the tanks and doing a decent job of that, but GG is called. Those in the near future, but a drop on the other side of the map is killing probes in the main base. 3 probes do go down, but this is the lowest health drop without fighting anything I've ever seen in my entire life. Is healing up the Marine slowly, but definitely in a bit of a painful spot are a lot of these Marines. Dpoo going to flank in with the Warp Prism, it looks like, maybe. Oh, no! Oh, no. Loses the Warp Prism with 4 Stalkers in it. That's so unfortunate for Dpoo. I'd say that's drop is well worth it at this point. Loses so many probes and then a full medevac as well. If we look at the units lost tab, you can see that Kriminal's been over twice as efficient as his opponent. 1,700 to 4,300. That's a major difference. We can see even in that battle report, it doesn't quite show it correctly because there were 4 Stalkers in the Warp Prism. It doesn't show 4 Stalkers, but 5 Stalkers, 3 probes, and a Warp Prism for just 8 Marines and a medevac. You'll take that any day of the week. And Dpoo calls GG. He loses this third, though. That's going to hurt a lot. He's going to be kicked back down to 2 bases. A big storm initially that's not dodged at all. Every bit of damage goes off on the bio here. That is a ton of damage. Dpoo really needs to get those probes mining again. One more big storm like that might be the turn of the tide that he needs, though. He's looking for it. And that is a big one. He's chasing them down. Storm chasers, but in reverse, I guess. Kriminal going to split up down each side of the map, try and get us around. Dpoo pulls back a little bit, which is good. If he can isolate these 2 halves of the army, that would be very nice for him. A lot more Marines on that right side as well, so more vulnerable to the Zealots and the Storms. And a big storm goes down on the right side army. Does clean up almost all of it, which means he can go back and deal with this left side army without as much danger of being pincered, although another big army coming in for Kriminal. He's just got so much stuff. Dpoo really needs to deal with this army on the left side. And deal with it he will with some massive storms blanketing the bio there. I mean, Immortals are pretty good against Storm, but if they just sit underneath it, it still will do almost all of their health and damage. But Dpoo does call out GG. Kriminal will take the series 2-0. Trying to just go for the bus. This is a bad idea. This is a really bad idea. Okay, does pull back. And now, though, SirMalagant can get on top of these shield batteries and these pylons. The shield batteries, though, are still available. Does kill 1 Void Ray, so that's all right. Does depower her gateways, though. She needs to get another pylon up ASAP. SirMalagant, though, looking at a pretty good spot at this point. She's not continuing to do pressure with the DTs, which is her only real way of keeping even in this game, I'd say. Oh, no. We've got Banter coming down. Hit escape. Void go fast. Oh, my gosh. Goodness. Going for the throat, not just in the moves in the game, but verbally as well. Instability has been practicing her in-game banter recently. Clearly. Instability kind of going in bits and pieces. Just a small chunk of her army going in first. Needs to group up and, yeah, attack all at once. And the Archons are going to do a lot of tanking here, especially against those Void Rays, who are not overcharging just yet. Instability just utilizing that Blink Micro a little bit. Has the charge lots, which are good at tanking against the Stalkers as well. Blinking on top and targets down the overcharged battery. Going in is Instability, and I believe winning this fight. Still double the army supply of that of SirMalagant. The last Void Ray falls and continuing to reinforce. Doesn't have a Warp Prism with her, actually, so she has to run Zealots all the way from her third base, but run they do. And GG is called. Game 1 will go to Instability.
Instability.
and now Malagant just putting stalkers everywhere. Although Instability will be able to clean these stalkers up. They also use their blink. Oh, never mind. They blinked away again, and Instability pulled back. Oh, he's going in. He's trying to go for the bust, but this is a mistake on Malagant's part, I think. The overcharged Void Rays are going to annihilate this army for Malagant. And, yeah, a big army supply advantage now available for Instability. He's out of Void Rays, and she's got so many of them. Holy cow. Doesn't have any economy, but doesn't need it, I guess. It's 18 Void Rays. Just going for the throat. Well, and Malagant's army is not here. She's going to be able to depower the shield batteries, I think. But after that Void Ray overcharge runs out, she really needs to get out of here. The stalkers are going to warp on top, I think. Without overcharge, I don't think she can win this fight. She's going to try and run. Doesn't have Flux Veins. Not good enough target fire to kill too many Void Rays yet out of Malagant. She's trying to abuse the airspace and catch some of the stalkers out. I think should have just gone back to the cannons, but trying to keep him busy. Splitting the army up into pieces. She should be able to kill those stalkers. You can kill those stalkers. Okay, she's got it. She's doing it. She's fighting. She still doesn't have overcharge up for about another 5 seconds, but once it's up, if she activates it, all these stalkers are going to die, I think. And indeed, she activates it. Malagant does have to run, but that means she'll be able to kill these shield batteries. What a crazy game, dude. Stalkers blink back. She's going in. She's got the stalkers pretty much cornered, and she activates overcharge, and I think that's going to be all she wrote. Holy cow, what a game. Looks like maybe I'm speaking too soon, but I'm speaking in anyways. I think Instability will be able to clutch out game number 2 as GG is called. Holy moly.